As Pochettino has had a very interesting call-up list. Thoughts on this one? Is this one of the more better lists that you've seen him call up in recent memory?
Yes, but I'm still very apprehensive as to what we're actually going to see. I still haven't been convinced by a USA squad in over 2 years, essentially, at this point. So I'm just going to be looking at every single individual play, how the players react to what ultimately will be very physical opponents in Ecuador and Australia. Mentality has been a huge problem for this side. Our mentality is going to have to be on point against these opponents. So that's what I'm going to be really focusing on in this international window. Yes, I like the call-ups, but for me, I think it goes way beyond that, as for me wanting hope as to what we can do at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Looking at the squad, couple things that I want to see. So at the end of the window, Pochettino actually found success by using a back three. And it was the first time he had really used one, and I liked what it did. Our midfield has been very weak, so I like the fact that he was like, all right, let's just go 2 midfielders, and let's put in another third center back against basically a very old Tim Ream. I like that. It actually makes sense. Problem is Blackman has now injured, so he's not going to be there. So up comes Cameron Carter-Vickers, probably in that third position, if Pochettino even goes with a back three. I don't know what formation he's going to go with. So there's so many things to look at tactically with what Pochettino's going to do. Again, I really like the back three. I would like to see it again. We have the return of Anthony Robinson on that left side. That's super exciting because when I look at that left back, left wing back position, there is nobody better than Anthony Robinson. He has to play every single second for the USA if we want to be successful. Sucks for Arsene because I do think he was one of the better new players that really shined this summer at the Gold Cup. Maybe somehow he gets put on the right-hand side.
Cool, but as a depth piece, it's not a bad option.
It's not a bad option, absolutely. So that's really interesting. The midfield's pretty much the same. We add in Weston McKennie. Tyler Adams isn't here due to, I think he's expecting a child. So congratulations to Tyler Adams. It's really beautiful for him and his family.
It's the only reason I'll excuse a player not being here if he's not injured, man.
Absolutely. So we get McKennie. This is huge because realistically, he's an effective captain of this midfield. At his prime, he was one of the best midfielders in all of CONCACAF, but we haven't seen prime McKennie for like 18 months. So this is going to be a huge role for him to come back into and try and inspire and reinvigorate this midfield for the USA side. This is huge for him. And then alongside, we still have common names like Diego Luna is getting that call up, but then we have just guys we've seen before, Malik Tillman, for example, coming in. I like that if he could be used in a more creative midfield role. The front three is going to be the usual. Christian Pulisic. It should be Balogun. On the right, it should be Weah.
Yeah, I like the return of core names, man. I feel like this is more so the lineup I wanted to see for the Gold Cup just a few months later. Because I love seeing Anthony Robinson return. Obviously, he was injured back then, but I love that he's back. I think when you talk about the skill level of certain U.S. men's national team players, he's one of the few players that can actually chat to Pulisic. I think he's that good in the fullback position at his best. At his peak, he was one of the best fullbacks in the Prem last year with Fulham. I just think he needs to get back into his form coming off of an injury that kept him out for a while. We might not see his best version this window, but for me, it's just the involvement. Just be part of the camps, get reintegrated in the billet to a massive tournament in the World Cup. And then Weston McKennie, same thing goes for him, bro. I want to see the same thing. It's good to see his name on here. Even Matt Turner getting the call back up, which is nice, as he was part of that, one of the better sides of the USA in the past couple of years. Shout out Aiden Morris. I've been hearing about him as he's been playing very well for Middlesbrough in the championship, as they put up good numbers. They're winning games, and he seems to be an integral part of that team. Same goes for Tanner Tessman with Lyon, getting results there too. I like that. I like that Pochettino has finally noted the form of these players in Europe and rewarded them with time with the national team. So I'm interested to see how they line up, because this is pretty different from what we saw last time. New names, bigger names coming into the mix. Does he trust the guys of the summer and Diego Luna, for example, or is it the new guard that kind of gets their spots back into the lineup and gets that token of confidence against a tough Ecuador side and a really good Australia team too?
And that's kind of goes back to my first point of concern for this USA side, is that these were the guys that got grouped at the Copa America. So yes, it is a return to form as far as names and players that are doing well at club level in Europe, but it just means nothing if they're not tactically put together correctly. And that's why this is a huge window for the players, for Pochettino. Yes, the club names attached to these guys is as good as it gets, but it has failed dramatically in the recent past. So something drastic is going to have to change within these guys, and it has to happen now. It's a perfect opportunity against very good opponents in Ecuador and Australia, but I'm not immediately giddy about what could happen. I'm still just remaining hopeful because we just haven't seen these guys play really good football in 2 years.
Yeah, I get that. I think I'm a little giddy because outside of the players that are injured, who else could he have called up? That's been my thing with Pochettino is usually there's someone that's missing. I'm like, why isn't he here? But this time around, I feel like, maybe there's one player, but I feel like he finally did a good job of calling the people up that deserve to have been called up outside of injured players.
Yes.
And I think that's a good step forward for Pochettino, who selection-wise had a disaster class in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, let's see what that actually amounts to now.
Let's see. That's why this is an exciting window, because this might give us a glimpse as to what this team can do at the World Cup. If this is the beginning of that road, and the road is short because the World Cup is coming up very quick,
sidewalk, bro.
It's coming up real quick. If we can perform well now with this group of players, then I think the November window is going to be incredibly exciting. That March window is going to be even better. But it has to start with good results now.